using sandpapers and wire wheels to be able to do what you need to do. That's more for the final polishing. First thing you need to do is, of course, dip the frame, cover it in paint stripper for about 15 minutes. Then you scrape that off, rinse it off, and then you'll have your frame, and it will be all gray and hazy. And you need to take a rotary tool, okay, and you're gonna hold it at an angle with a cutting wheel, grinder, cutting wheel, whatever you want to call these things. You're gonna scrape it at just an angle like this. Okay, so to take all that, take it from gray, this gray hazy stuff. These machines often got a lot of pits and, you know, the waves and lines and cracks and all the defects, all the relief marks, circles, any waves and cracks in the metal, any defects at all. You want to flatten it out and remove all the haze and gray and get it down to, you see that gray. Okay, see the difference? Gray here, silver here. Okay, you want the whole thing down to silver. Now this is a little rough, but what you do after you get the whole frame. Okay, so after you strip all your shit down with the cutting wheel, then you're going to use the round sanding wheel to flatten it out, smooth it out. Okay. That way everything is completely smooth, inside, outside, edges, everything. Then you'll take your middle mill file and your because even that, I mean, that's good, but if you go over it with this, do it up high here, because that wheel, all the power tools are going to leave, you know, deep scratches and hazes and stuff that you just can't get out with the files. Okay, so even though this looks, you know, super clean, and it would come out even, colors will come out way brighter than, you know, you're getting with this dirty shit. If you go over it with the file, then it becomes, you know, even higher polish. Then you go over it with the 320, and get it, you know, glass-like. Then those colors will just blow out. So those are all, that's, you gotta have all that shit to get it to a high polish, because you can't have this dirty shit. That's just not gonna. Then after I do that, I use the 120 grit by hand to get all the little creases. Then I use these little, this is it's like curved on both sides, half oval. Especially for these frames, they have this hook, because you can use this on all the flat surfaces. You can even use it to round this out, but then you also want to get all the corners rounded all over, no sharp corners. So when you have curves like this, you'll need a half round file, or you can use this, because you need a get everything smoothed out. especially any sides that you're gonna see from the outside, the back, underneath, and this face right here are the most important to get as completely glass-like as you can. Inside here, this back here, right here, where all the parts are going to be and blocking it, just around the edges is good enough. Okay, you can just around the edges. The center parts are going to be blocked, but the side arm and the back and underneath are the parts that you want to spend most of your time on. So this half round lets you get little crevices like this, rounds like that, get in between all the tight spots. So then after you're done with that, you can hit it with a wire wheel one more time to high polish it and go on to the heating. Now, like I was showing you on this one, when you start practicing, you'll see it's all here. You see the gold, and then purple, blue, and then right here is the light blue. That's the hottest. Next is white. Okay, if it gets to past light blue, it turns white. So this means I was holding it right here. Probably almost any longer and it would have been too long. If it gets too white and you don't have enough purples and you get too many light blues, usually I just take it to gold, and then like I said, I'll hit it high and hit it low, get it to turn purple where it barely turns blue, and then I'll put it in front of a fan and make sure it cools off and doesn't continue to heat. If it screws up and you get too much light blue and you want to redo it, once it's at a glass finish like this, if you want to redo it, then you just take the sandpaper and it comes right off, and then you can redo it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this right here. I just go back and forth. I'll heat the whole frame, okay? Get the back part, underneath, along the side here, up and down, up and down the inside of the arm, the back, okay, this part. Just heat everything evenly. Because you want it to start turning gold all at the same time. Get the back, get the base, get underneath, the side arm, okay, so I'm starting to turn brown down here. So I start heating the other side back here underneath. Okay, now it's turning gold right here. Starts turning purple real fast. You see that? Okay, so now I gotta hit. See how I hit it and it starts turning purple? So I back away because it'll keep going purple. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna come over here. Okay, now this is all gold. So I'm gonna hit it high up here. Okay, and I'm gonna hit it low down here. Alright, see? As soon as it starts turning yellow, get an angle there. Alright, so I hit it high, hit it low, and that's where it starts to turn blue and purple. and it will continue to darken and lighten and keep changing. If you don't cool it really quick, it'll keep changing color. It's getting almost white right here now. Now it's gone from gold to purple in the middle. Okay. But as you see, those colors fucking pop out real loud. And that's because you have that high polish on the steel. You don't have none of that gritty shit clouding it up. Okay, so again, if the whole thing turned too light blue and you wanted to change it, you can just take sandpaper and buff it off after it cools. But that's how far you gotta polish that shit to make those colors pop out. So you gotta have a rotary tool to take off all the haze. You can do it with just a file, but it will take you probably a few hours. Whereas if you go over it with the Dremel and take off all the rough work, then you can just spend like 1 hour with the big file and the fine file. So the rotary tool is going to save you a lot of time, but you got to get it to a high, clean, polished steel finish in order to make these colors pop out.